The first scream echoed through the marble hallways of the Blackwood mansion sharp, panicked, and followed by the unmistakable thud of someone running for their life. It was the third babysitter this week. And it was only Wednesday. 12-year-old Damien Blackwood stood at the top of the staircase, watching the terrified young woman bolt through the front door without even grabbing her coat. His expression didn't change. He simply sighed, turned around, and disappeared into his room. Closing the door quietly behind him, people thought Damien was a menace and predictable. It's impossible and maybe even dangerous. But no one knew the truth. No one cared enough to find out Mr. Blackwood, a man whose wealth could have bought a small city, was always traveling. Meetings, deals, silent auctions, charity galas, was everywhere except home. And his son. His son was just an item on a long list of responsibilities he outsourced. That afternoon, the staff whispered about yet another runaway. The doorbell buzzed. The new sitter had arrived. Her name was Alina Brooks Twinney. Warm smile, oversized sweater, and the kind of gentle confidence that made people breathe easier without knowing why. The head housekeeper warned her 10 times before she even stepped inside. "He's not like other children," she said. Alina just smiled. "Good. I'm not like other babysitters." She climbed the stairs and knocked on Damien's door. No answer. She opened it anyway. The room was dark, except for a single lamp glowing beside a messy stack of books. Damien sat at his desk, shoulders tense, scribbling furiously in a notebook. "I don't need a babysitter," he muttered. "Perfect," Elena replied, dropping into a beanbag chair like she owned the place. "Because I'm terrible at babysitting?" It earned her a quick, startled look, a flicker of curiosity, before the walls went back up. Minutes passed in silence. Then 10, then 20. Most sitters would have started lecturing. But Alina simply sat there, studying the books scattered around the room. Astronomy guides, puzzle books, a thick volume on classical architecture. "You like stars?" she asked softly. He didn't look up. "They don't ask questions. They don't leave." The words slipped out before he could stop them. His voice cracked just enough for her to notice. Alina didn't push. Instead, she walked to the window, pulled open the curtains, and let sunlight pour in. Dust danced in the golden beam, and for a moment everything felt warmer. "You know," she said, "stars aren't as far away as you think. People only feel distant when no one tries to reach them." Damien froze. Something in the room shifted like a pressure lifting. 2 days later, the unexpected happened. Mr. Blackwood returned home early. He found his son in the backyard, sitting on the grass beside Alina, laughing, actually laughing. The sound was light, unrestrained, and foreign to his ears. Damien was showing her a small telescope, explaining constellations with the enthusiasm of a child who had finally found someone willing to listen. Mr. Blackwood stood there, stunned, as if he were witnessing a stranger wearing his son's face. "What changed?" he whispered. Alina glanced over, her voice calm but firm. "Someone finally stayed long enough to see him." The words struck him harder than any business failure ever did that night. The emotional shift came quietly. Damien handed his father a folded piece of paper. "I wrote this," he said shyly, "in case you ever wanted to know what I like." Blackwood opened it. Inside were pages, drawings, notes, stars, tiny memories. Things no one had ever asked him to share. For a moment, the billionaire's eyes softened. His voice trembled. "I'm sorry," he whispered. Damien didn't reply, but he didn't pull away when his father gently placed a hand on his shoulder. Alina watched from the doorway. Smiling as a family that had been silent for years finally took its first breath. And for the first time, Damien didn't look like a boy everyone ran away from. He looked like a boy who had been waiting, just waiting for someone to see him.